Today we are having a session of singing our Vaishnava songs. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindubhya eva ca patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Can you all tell me some reasons why we should sing these Vaishnava songs? When there is only the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, why should we sing Vaishnava songs? Yes. To develop a prayerful mood. Okay, that's nice. Yes. Krishna also wants us to glorify his devotees. How are we glorifying the devotees? By singing these songs?
Some of the songs glorify the devotees. Some of the songs glorify the devotees.
Someone.
Children are making noise, request them to.
Sorry, you were saying, so how are we glorifying the devotees?
I don't know a lot about Vaishnav Bhajans, but my understanding is that some of them at least glorify the various names of devotees who glorify the Lord himself.
Okay, because in some of the songs there is glorification of some devotees. Okay. Yes, you have raised your hand.
Remain connected to God.
Remain
connected to Supreme Personality of Godhead.
To remain connected to the personality of Godhead. Can't we do that just by chanting Hare Krishna? Yes.
Srila Prabhupada gave the example that if we are going on a cycle, but if we catch hold of a bus, then we can move very quickly. So the Vaishnava Bhajans helps us to enhance our devotional service.
Okay, that's alright, fine.
सारे जो हमारे वैष्णव भजन है इसमें हमारा पूरा कथा भरा हुआ है पूरी pastime of Mahaprabhu and Krishna. So when
all
you
the
sing
pastimes of the Lord are included in these Vaishnava songs. Okay, yes.
To understand the mood of the acharyas and how they pray to Krishna.
Excellent. This is the most important point. Very, very important to understand the mood of the acharyas and how they prayed to the Supreme Lord. Excellent. This is the very, very important point. Yes. Somebody raised here.
It is the devotee's deep realization of the devotion to Krishna.
Yes, it is the devotee's deep realization about their devotion to Krishna. Excellent. So these are actually the main points. You see, it is said that ultimately the deepest truths of spiritual life reside in the hearts of the devotees. Tarko pratishtha shrutayo vidinna nasa vrishiriyasya matam napinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gata sapantha. The meaning of this verse is that one cannot understand the absolute truth by argument. One cannot understand the absolute truth by just merely studying books. because the opinions of different munis or speculators, they vary with time. The deepest truths of the scriptures and of spiritual knowledge are hidden in the hearts of the great devotees. And therefore one must follow in the footsteps of the great devotees. So by studying these songs which have been composed by the great Vaishnava Acharyas, what we are doing is to understand what they understand of devotion, what is their realization, and how they pray to the Lord. What is it they ask for the Lord? What is their mood? What do they think of themselves? What do they think of the world? What do they think of other devotees? What do they think of Krishna and of devotional service? We can understand these very subtle truths, the deepest of all truths, by studying these Vaishnava songs and singing them as a regular practice. You know, there are so many tapes of Srila Prabhupada singing, so many songs. Yes? You may have heard some of them. Some of the prayers, Prabhupada used to sing them as songs. Narottam Das Thakur has written a collection of songs called Prarthana, and he has also written a book of songs called Prema Bhakti Chandrika. So Gaur Krishna Das Babaji, or Gaur Kishore Das Babaji used to say that Krishna Prem is very easy to get. All you have to do is to go to the market and just for a small price buy these two books and you will get Krishna Prem. Meaning, of course, that you have to study these books, you have to understand them, you have to recite them, sing them, and then automatically you will get Krishna Prem. So this is the importance, and we get the mercy of the Acharyas when we do this. And the mercy of the devotees, the great devotees of the Lord, comes first before we can get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Also, these are all notable prayers, very notable songs. So when Rupa Goswami, the Nectar of Devotion in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, outlines the 64 elements of sadhana bhakti, he also mentions that we have to recite notable prayers and songs. Notable prayers and songs should means that they are songs recited by and composed by the acharyas and sung by them. So that is why we sing these songs. And we sing them also because Prabhupada has sung them, the acharyas have sung them. We understand the mood of devotional service. So let's sing the songs now. We have selected a few songs, starting with a song by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. No, this is a different book. So, okay, it doesn't matter. I'll see where it is. This is from a collection. This is from a collection of songs by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It's called Sharanagati. And it's very nice. I'll read the translation first. The dust from the lotus feet of pure devotees is conducive to devotional service. While service to the Vaishnavas is itself the supreme perfection and the root of the tender creeper of divine love. I observe with great care the holy days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, for they are the mother of devotion. As my dwelling place, I choose with the greatest of reverence and love the transcendental abode of Sri Krishna. All those places where my Lord Gaurasundara traveled for pastimes, I will visit in the company of loving devotees. The translations here are different. Huh? Okay, let me read those translations then.
Start from first, next.
No, it's all right. Just where we were. May I always visit all the holy places associated with the Leela of Lord Chaitanya and his devotees. When I hear the sound of the mridanga in my heart, I always desire to join in Kirtan. And when I hear the bona fide songs describing Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, my heart dances in ecstasy. Wherever I see the transcendental Sri Vigrahas of Radha Krishna, I am in bliss. For by taking their lordship's prasad, we can conquer over the material elements. One day, while performing devotional practices, I saw my house transformed into Goloka Vrindavan. When I take the Charanamrita of the deity, I see holy Ganges, waters, that come from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, and my bliss knows no bounds. By seeing the Tulsi tree, my heart feels joy, and Lord Madhava is also satisfied. When I eat the prasad favored by Lord Chaitanya, it is a new life's experience. Lord Chaitanya was very fond of a green vegetable preparation called shak, and there is another song in this book that tells of the amazing effects of this type of prasad. Bhaktivinoda concludes by saying, whosoever attains the stage of enthusiasm for these devotional practices will be supremely blissful wherever he may be. Hare Krishna. How many of you have heard this song or sung this song before, or have not, let us put it like that. How many of you have not heard this song before? So many. Okay. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Try to sing as I'm singing, okay? Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamula. Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamula. Everybody should sing. Only few devotees are singing. It should be very loud. Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamula. Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Premalati Karamula. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Madhavati the Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. Madhavati the Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Kori. Krishna Basati Boli Paramādara Gori. আমার যেসব স্থানে করল ভ্রমণ রঙ্গে সেসব স্থান হেরিব আমি প্রণয় ভকত সঙ্গে শুদ্ধ ভকত চরণ রেণু ভজন মৃদঙ্গবাদ্য শুনিতে মন অবসর সদা যাচে গৌরবিহিত কীর্তন শুনি আনন্দ হৃদয় নাচে শুদ্ধ ভক্ত চরণ রেণু ভজন যুগল মূর্তি দেখিয়া মোরা পরমানন্দ প্রসাদ সেবা করিতে হয় সকল প্রপঞ্চ दिवसे परम सुखे स्वीकार करो शरणागति की जय, श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। So we should try to practice singing these songs and reading their meanings also, so we understand exactly what they mean, and in this way we will relish devotion more deeply. So the next song we'll sing is another famous song by a very great devotee poet called Jayadev Goswami. He has written the famous Gita Govinda, and that contains many poems and songs, and one of them is the Dashavatara Stotra. It speaks about the 10 famous incarnations of Lord Krishna. Generally, the people think that Vishnu or Krishna had only 10 incarnations. But actually, Krishna had unlimited incarnations. And that is clearly declared in the Srimad Bhagavatam. He had as many incarnations as there are waves in the ocean. However, by poems and songs such as this, 10 avatars have become more famous. They are the most prominent amongst the different avatars. And therefore, people think that Vishnu or Krishna has only 10 avatars. So let us sing that. So we'll have the translation first. How many of you have not sung this song or heard it before? Okay, so many. So it's important for us to sing all our basic songs. So this is our devotional heritage. In these verses, Srila Jayadev Goswami is glorifying these 10 different incarnations of Lord Krishna, and one verse for each. So let's start just reading the translations. The first one is for the Matsya Avatar, the fish incarnation of Krishna. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a tortoise, all glories to you. In this incarnation, as the divine tortoise, the great Mandara mountain rests upon your gigantic back as a pivot for churning the ocean of milk. From holding up the huge mountain, a large scar-like depression is put on your back, which has become most glorious. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a boar, all glories unto you. The earth, which had become merged in the Garbhodaka ocean at the bottom of the universe, sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. We, of course, should we come back to the previous one? Do you recognize this? We sing it every day, isn't it? So half of the Narsinga prayers we chant is from Dashavatara Stotra. Okay, next please. This is Vamana. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, all glories to you. O wonderful dwarf, by your massive steps you deceive King Bali, and by the Ganges water that has emanated from the nails of your lotus feet, you deliver all living beings within this world. Verse 6. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Bhrigupati Parashuram, all glories to you. At Kurukshetra, you bathe the earth in rivers of blood from the bodies of the demoniac Kshatriyas that you have slain. The sins of the world are washed away by you, and because of you, people are relieved from the blazing fire of material existence. This is Lord Ram. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Lord Ramachandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroy the 10-headed demon Ravana and distribute his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who were much harassed by this monster. Now Lord Balaram. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Balaram, the wielder, not yielder. Oh, so many mistakes in this translation. Where is it from? Huh? It's not yielder, it's wielder, and it's not proud, it is the plow. Okay? O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Balaram, the wielder of the plow, all glories to you. On your brilliant white body, you wear garments the color of a fresh blue rain cloud. These garments are colored like the beautiful dark hue of the river Yamuna, who feels great fear due to the striking of your plowshare. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Buddha, all glories to you. O Buddha of compassionate heart, you decry the slaughtering of poor animals performed according to the rules of Vedic sacrifice. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Kalki, all glories to you. You appear like a comet and carry a terrifying sword for bringing about the annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of Kali Yuga. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed these 10 different forms of incarnation, all glories to you. O readers, please hear this hymn of the poet Jayadev, which is most excellent, an awarder of happiness, a bestower of auspiciousness, and it is the best thing in this dark world. Pralaya payodhi jale dhritavana sivedam जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणि धारण किं चक्रकरिष्ठे केशवधृता कूर्म शरीर जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वसति दशन शिखरे धरणि कमलना शशिनि कलंक कलेव निधना केशवधृता शुकर रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे Sing the next song, which is called Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Actually, we are followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. We've all heard of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is one of the most intimate followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in Goloka Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. He is one of the assistants of the gopis. So this is a song written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, seeking the mercy of Sri Rupa Manjari. It is in Bengali, and we'll read the translation first. It is important for us to understand our devotional heritage and also our sampradaya, which sampradaya we belong to, and what is the mood of devotion in our sampradaya. So the songs of the acharyas make us understand specifically that mood. The feet of Sri Rupa Manjari, who is the eternal form of Rupa Goswami as a Gopi of Braja, are my treasure, my devotional service, and my object of worship. They give my life meaning, and they are the life of my life. They are the perfection of rasa, and they are perfection worthy of attainment. They are the very law of the Vedic scriptures for me. They are the meaning of all my fasts and penances, and my silent uttering of my mantras. They are the basis of religion and activities. By the purifying process of devotional service, one will attain perfection, and with these two eyes be able to see his It's an incomplete sentence. This translation is not good. By the power of those feet, my activities will become favorable to devotion. Spiritual perfection will be achieved, and with these two eyes, I will be able to actually see. The exquisite beauty of Sri Rupa Manjari's divine feet will shine like the brilliant moon upon the lotus of my heart, both day and night, thus giving relief to my afflicted soul. Okay, next please. Your absence from my vision is like a dose of strong poison, and I will suffer till the end of my life. Narottam Das Thakur says, please give me your mercy and the shade of your lotus feet. Now, Kartal has to be played
One, two.
this way. Okay? Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Shri Mora Sampada
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 Shri Mora Bhajana Pujana
Shri Mora Bhajana
Shri Mora Bhajana Pujana we are exploring our devotional heritage. We are seeing and hearing all the wonderful things and sentiments expressed by our great acharyas. So the next song we'll sing is HH Goswami Ashtakam. It is again another song about the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who were very intimate followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I think all of you must have heard this. How many have not heard this? Okay, quite a few. Not that many. Okay. It is a song composed by Srinivas Acharya. In every verse, you will see the last line is the same. Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalako. Vande means I offer my prayers or my respectful obeisances unto these 6 individuals, who are the 6 Goswamis. Who are they? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghu Yugau, means there are 2 Raghus, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. Then Sri Jiva Goswami and Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So these 6 Goswamis are very important acharyas for us. We are followers of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They came to Vrindavan at different times to follow the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And specifically, Rupa Goswami is considered the chief amongst them. And we as Gaudiya Vaishnavas are followers of Rupa Goswami, therefore we are called Rupanugas. So, the translations. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are both popular with the gentle and with the ruffians, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus they are engaged in missionary activities meant to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mode of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Srila Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very much enriched in understanding of Lord Chaitanya, and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They can purify all conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. As such, they are very expert in increasing the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from the devouring mouth of liberation. I offer my obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant. In order to deliver the poor conditioned souls, they accepted loincloths, treating themselves as mendicants. But they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. I know I just skip the names in order to save time. Okay? I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, who were always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavan, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers, which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, who were engaged in chanting the holy names of the Lord and bowing down in a scheduled measurement. In this way, they utilized their valuable lives, and in executing these devotional activities, they conquered over eating and sleeping and were always meek and humble, enchanted by remembering the transcendental qualities of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, who were sometimes on the bank of the Radha Kunda lake, or the shores of the Yamuna, and sometimes at Vanshivada. There, they just appeared like madmen in full ecstasy of love for Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms in their bodies, and they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, who were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the bank of the Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. Okay, so let us sing this. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Karo Premamritam Bhonidhi
Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Karo Premamritam Bhonidhi
Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito
Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito
Shri Chaitanya Kripabharo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahanta Bhakto
Shri Chaitanya Kripabharo Bhuvi Bhuvo
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyuga Shri Gopala
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyuga Shri
Nana Shastra Vicharika Nipuna Sadharma Sansthapada Thank you. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय।